she's performing there. And he said, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by performing? And she said, well, you remember when your sister used to sing around the house and everything? She says, well, she's a singer. She's really a singer, and she's performing with James Brown. And he was just like, oh my God, he could not believe it.
I stepped out on faith and I gave my notice. And I'm crying, y'all, because I gave my heart and my soul on that job. Because that was my passion. And sometimes our passion is really not our calling. It's just a passion.
When they say when it rains, it pours. It poured, but I didn't realize that the pour was on purpose. The pour was actually moving stuff out the way, moving people out of my path that didn't belong in my circle anymore.
Jesus loves me, for the Bible tells me so. And he looked at me, he was like, this little girl, how old is she?
He said, this little girl can sing. Look,
This little girl can sing.
Yeah.
Queen, hello. This is your favorite girl, Minister Nakita Davis. I am the proud CEO and founder of Jesus Coffee and Prayer Christian Publishing House, the #1 Christian publishing house in the land. And I am so excited to be hosting Success Leaves Clues in this time with everything that's going on. I've got some amazing women of faith, glow getters, girl bosses, speakers, authors from all over the world who want to pour into you. These queens have been vetted and they are sharp, and you need to catch a clue. Today, I'm so excited because I've got my beauty queen all the way from New Zealand, Jean Barr. Y'all give her some virtual love. She is here with us today, and she's going to share with us a little bit how she has been successful even during the pandemic. But first, Jean, tell them a little bit about you.
Hi, Nakita. How everybody? It's so good to see you. It's so good to have you all here. It is absolutely wonderful. Wherever you are, love you to death. Stay strong, and we're going to have an amazing time. So, a little bit about me. So, I'm a single mom. I have a daughter. She is now 26. I started my business 13 years ago. Live in New Zealand, all the way from South Africa. I've been in New Zealand 22 years now, running my business for the last 13 years, empowering, inspiring, motivating, and encouraging women around New Zealand and around the world. In my spare time, I am a firefighter for our local brigade, and I also volunteer for an organization called Victim Support, and I am on their completed suicide team, homicide team, family and sexual violence team. So I work with a lot of women around the country who've experienced some really tough things.
Wow. Well, God bless you. That is amazing. It's obvious that you have a heart after helping God's people, and specifically, it seems like He's niched you down to really helping women, right, with some of the initiatives that you're a part of. So hats off to you. Now, I definitely got to know, how did you get into I believe you said you were part of the fire brigade, or explain that a little bit more, what that is and how you play a role in that.
So I've been in our local fire brigade now for the last 2 years. I am operation support, so I'm a firefighter like everybody else. However, I don't do breathing equipment, so when the guys go into a structural fire, I'm the one who makes sure that whoever goes in comes out.
Come on now, that's that sounds like that's the most important job. Like bodies counted for going in, bodies coming out. Okay.
But in
Fantastic.
terms of driving or supporting women, my initiative is to support women in the fire brigade. There's been a little bit of abusive stuff going down. There's a lot of control issues. There's some stuff there that is just not good. So my role is also, I'm also part of the women, supporting initiatives. If there's any abuse or any nonsense going on, I'm there to sort of listen, help, make sure that the offenders do not continue their outrageous behavior, and just supporting women in the process of moving through whatever that situation has been.
Absolutely. So it definitely sounds like you're an advocate, is what I hear. Advocacy is huge for you. So tell us a little, definitely more about when we talk about from the business side of the house, because many of our viewers, they're either aspiring business owners or aspiring authors or speakers or what have you. So many of the things that you do and some of the other women that have the opportunity to hear from, talk to us a little bit more about how you got into your business and what really propelled you into saying, you know what, I'm going to walk into full-time entrepreneurship. What was that about? What was the lens, the angle for that?
Oh man. So I started off as I'm an ex-nursing sister and specialized in mental health way back when. But I've been in sales all my life. I was given the most amazing opportunity to be in sales. And because I was the top salesperson in a number of industries, and a number of countries, on 3 continents, 6 countries, one of the things that leaders try and do is that when you've got a top salesperson, they want to clone you. So they get you to train everybody and mentor the team and everything so that they can come out like you. And one of the things I saw is that companies were really good at giving you a book on their products and services, but not good on training you around the soft skills.
So good. Okay? So good. Mm-hmm.
So I looked at this and I thought, no, we've got salespeople out there who are not able to make good relationships with people and build trust with their clients, so they're not getting the business. And then they believe that it's them at fault where they haven't been trained properly. So in 2007, I had one more training session with a group, and I thought, no, this is just not on. I'm starting a company, and for me, my sales training is about the neuroscience behind sales. So it's about equipping people to understand the neuroscience behind sales, which is building trust, building relationships, understanding how the client is thinking. It's not manipulative. It's not it's not any bad stuff. It's just simply about understanding that clients are people. They're going through emotions. They're going through things, and you need to understand them. You need to understand where they are. You need to understand how they're thinking so that you can be of value to your client, because it's not about the sale. It's about building a relationship and building trust with your client. And because of that, they will then,
All right, you all, she will be right back in. No worries there. So good so far hearing from Jean. She is absolutely amazing, and the key points that she's bringing up about sales and the neuroscience is what she said behind the sales organization. And that's so important. Myself come from a sales background and successfully being in the top 1-2% of sales. And so super excited to hear some of this from a lens from someone else, but she's absolutely right. There is a neuroscience and there is an art behind the sales. Jean, go ahead and take it back up for us. Oh, love, and let's go ahead and get you off of mute again. Let's see here. No worries, no worries.
So, bottom line is that everybody in your company is in sales. I'm in governance, so I chair a number of boards. I've been the chair of Governance New Zealand here in Canterbury, where I live, president of the YWCA, Young Women's Christian Association. And I simply believe at the end of the day that everybody's in sales, because even if you're the chair, the CEO, I don't care what your title is, you need to have great communication skills. You need to motivate, inspire, and empower your team to understand your vision, your mission, and to engage with your suppliers, your funders, your clients, your prospective clients. How it is that you can provide value to them, because your client doesn't care how beautiful you are. They're not really interested in your price. What they're interested in is the value that you bring to them and their clients and their company in terms of saving some money, making some money, or being the leader in the industry and providing great value to their clients so that they can make money. So for me, that's my job. My job is to inspire, motivate, encourage, empower people, particularly women, to stand up, understand that you know, that whole imposter syndrome, get past it. Seriously, I work with so many women. We need to get past it. We have value and we need to bring it, and we need to bring it with confidence. We need to bring it in terms of when somebody says, how much does that cost? We don't turn into wimps. We don't go, oh, well, you know, I can give you a discount. No, 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 no. Stand in your power. Stand understanding the value that you bring to your clients.
That's so...
And why they need to work with you, the value of working with you and your company as opposed to anybody else. And you're the one in control of that, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know what? I tell you what, I love that, because often when I'm talking to my clients, you know, because I am a publisher, but I try to explain to my clients, it's more than just selling your book. I said, you know, if you want to know why your books aren't flying off the shelf, is because the people, in order for people to buy, they buy from people they like. And the only way they can like you is if they get to know you. Well, how do they get to know me? Through that interaction, through that conversation, through that, you know, opportunities such as this, where you're stepping on stage, they're finding out a piece of Gene, excuse me, and what they like about you, and how you're fiery and you want to motivate, and how you help, you know, victims and advocacy. That's how they know the heart of Gene. And then they say, you know what? Well, I like the heart of Gene. Let me check her out and see what she's talking about. Right. And so it's levels to this, and people think it's just, oh, I made a shiny product, take this pen, and now everybody should buy it. Why? I mean, let's just be honest. There's typically, you know, the word tells us there's nothing new under the sun, right? So nobody's, you know, unless you're inventing a whole new wheel of something, 9 times out of 10, you are doing something that somebody somewhere else is doing. Now, you may have your value proposition on the way that you do it and all of these things, but the concept is, you know, somebody else sells pens, somebody else is a publisher, somebody else teaches people how to build award-winning teams, but why you? Because they like you. That's just the bottom line. If I got 2 people, same degree, same education, same whatever's on paper, who am I going to go with? The person that speaks to my heart. You know, the mental, the neuroscience, as you stated, you know, the psychology behind it. And I love how you, you know, stated it's not about manipulation or, you know, trying to hit this spot to where you can get over. It's about truly servicing your potential customer or client. And when people catch that, and that no matter what you're doing, you are in sales. I don't care who you are. My husband and I, we joked the other night. Now, I'm not going to say exactly what we said, but what I will say is this. You know, but it's the truth. Whether you are the preacher, guess what? You're trying to you know, you can say it however you want. You are selling souls to Jesus. You're trying to get people over the cross. I mean, it's just the bottom line, right? Or whether you're selling shoestrings or that husband and wife, guess what? You know, from the standpoint, I had to, quote unquote, the value that I bring, that had to be something to have him want to propose to me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So if you look at it,
Absolutely.
that we are in a sales world, and those who are equipped and know how to do it with the soft skills, those are the people right now in the pandemic that are absolutely gonna win. And so it's great to have you on here to do that. So what if you had to think about advice, right? And I know you are just bustling with a wealth of information. What would be the top 3 things, clues to success that you would give another young lady? If you had to spell it out, what would be the top 3 clues or tips, strategies you would give to a young lady who's watching you right now and saying, all of that sounds great, but what are the first 3 steps I need to take so that I can increase my value and my impact in the earth?
Wow.
I know it's loaded, right? Loaded question. But just take your time. Just the top 3. If you had to think, wow, what's the next step? What do I do? Where do I start?
Right. So, Nakita, I think the first thing is write down your dream. Be
Come on.
passionate. Get clear on your dream. Get clear on what you want to do. All right? Get clear. Clarity. Who's your target market? Why do you want to do it? What is your offer? What is the value that you bring? All right? Get clear on that. Get clear on your vision. Get clear on what you want to do. Get clear on your target market. And back yourself. Back yourself, because if you don't, no one else is going to do it.
That's
All
good.
right?
That's good.
Back yourself. Put on your big girl's pants. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, Queen, I am awesome.
That's it.
I'm good. Because it's not being over the top. It's not being arrogant. It's not being anything. It's about being authentic.
Mm-hmm.
It's about having integrity, which is do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it.
That's right.
Yes. And it's about your just bringing everything that you have. So it's about clarity, number 1. It's about understanding your value proposition. Write it out. Write everything out. Get clear about it. If you want some help, send me an email. Have a chat with me. Zoom. I'll help anybody, because I'm just so passionate about helping women to understand that they have value and they need to bring it. And the biggest place in town that has the biggest value is the cemetery.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why the cemetery is so important is because all those lost dreams, all those I shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and if this had happened, and if that had happened, that's where they all lie buried. All those incredibly good things that women and men want to do, should have done, and they didn't do. That's where they lie buried.
Yeah.
No. We need that stuff. We need those people, particularly now through the pandemic. What I'm finding is that there are lots of people who are feeling very vulnerable. They're very challenged. They're very, there's a lot of trauma going on at the moment, a lot of emotional stuff. And this is the time when I'm seeing a lot of women going, hey, listen, I've always wanted to do this particular thing, and I've just lost my job. So please just show me how to do this, how to get started. So first of all, have your goal, have your vision, put it down on paper, write it out, do a dream board if you want to, or a vision board, or whatever you call it, but be very clear. Then have a look at your target market. Have a look at your skills. Have a look at the value that you bring. All those amazing things, all right? Bring it. And then start looking at other people who are doing the thing that you want to do. Like you've said, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's already been invented. Don't go there. Look at what other people are doing. Get some ideas. start rolling it around in your head in terms of what people are doing, what's out there in the industry, what's out there in the marketplace. What are people doing? Where are things going at the moment with technology or other ways of doing it? All right? Put things online, but you've got to sell the vision. You've got to sell yourself. And that doesn't mean being arrogant and loud and obnoxious.
Right.
It's just about making people understand who you are, what it is that you bring, how it is that you can help them. That is what they want to know. Everybody's tuned into one radio station. It's called WIIFM. What's in it for me? And as long as you
Yes.
can translate your vision into what's in it for them to work with you using the KISS principle. Now, I don't care what the second S is, don't want to know. My version of KISS is keep it simple, sunshine. And as long as you can translate your vision and your value to people in 5 sentences or less, with vision articulated clearly so that they can understand, because the clearer they can understand it, the quicker they can understand it, the quicker they can understand what's in it for them to work with you.
That is good. Let me tell y'all something. Ladies, queens, you're listening to this. This is a woman after my own heart. You understand me? She is using verbiage and jargon and colloquialisms that I've been using for the last, 15 years or so from the corporate world in sales. And this is so important because it transcends and translates over any business. I don't care what you do.
Absolutely.
People think, oh, only if I'm a service-based or only if I'm a product-based or only if I'm an author or speaker. I don't care what you do. You could be selling oxygen. And that is a thing. They have like this purified oxygen that people purchase,
Right.
which is crazy, right? But people buy oxygen. There is somebody selling oxygen right now because they have the with them. They know what's in it for their client, right? So if people can go around selling oxygen to people, right, then why won't they buy what you have to offer? I guarantee they will do it. That's what you got to know. I'll share this. This is and oh gosh, if I was thinking I would have had it up, but Tiffany's, love Tiffany's. Many queens and ladies love Tiffany. Well, they have a gold. Look it up. You can Google this. Okay, they have a gold paper clip. A paper clip, like put paper and clip it. $1,500. It's either 15 or 1,800. I want to say it's $1,500. $1,500 for a gold paper clip. And guess what? I've seen it for years. That means people are purchasing gold-plated paper clips for $1,500. So why would your product or your service be less? I need you to have that value within yourself. Like Jean just said, you got to sell yourself. It's not about being boisterous. It's not about being loud and obnoxious or any of the things she said, but it is about playing your royal position in the body of Christ and knowing who he's created you to be. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't even know you, queen, and I know your value was way more than a gold paper clip from Tiffany's. Okay? So love it, love it, love it. I know what I wanted to circle back with you because this is such great dialogue that you're providing and talking about the women and what they can do. Shifting gears a little bit. Okay, you have the queen that says all of that is great. That is what I'm doing. Pandemic hit. We know this is a whole new beast unless you were here with the Spanish flu, don't give me the line, 1915, 1920, somewhere up in there. You've never probably seen it before, or maybe you heard stories from your grandmother, great-grandmother, but you haven't gone through it. So how did you think about your training? How did you pivot, right, into place to where you're still able to shine, still able to provide value, and still able to be successful where many businesses are shutting down, closing down? And I'll tell you this, the other day I went to a restaurant. I told my husband, oh, we're gonna order out. I'm hungry and mama been busy all day. I don't have time. Got my daughter in the car. We said, we'll just order when we get there. And we pulled up and the building was completely tore down. As a matter of fact, the construction team was there building a new building. And I was like, of course I was hungry, but outside of that, you know what? I looked at that and I said, oh, I hate that they are closed. But I began to praise God because I said, Lord, I thank you. While other businesses, and not making fun of them or any of that, but it was a grateful moment to say, wow, all these businesses that I know might be making millions, you know, more than me at this time, but they are success. But you've called fit for me to still be successful and to still be here. How did that happen for you? How did you transition and pivot to still be successful even during the pandemic?
Wow, amazing question. So the pandemic hit. So I was doing a lot of my training face-to-face. Pandemic hit, no training face-to-face. I lost all my clients literally overnight. And I had a day and I thought, gee whiz. And I honestly went before the Lord and I said, you know what, Lord, at the end of the day, you've given me all these gifts, all right? This particular thing that I know that you have given me the gifts and you told me to go into this business. It's not a happening thing right now. So what am I going to do? And I actually sat down and it was just so amazing. I went on a Zoom call with a friend of mine and she said, you know, Jean, you're an incredible speaker. You've done so much speaking. I want you to come and speak, but it's via Zoom or whatever, but it's to a huge audience in the UK or the States or wherever it was at the time. And she said, you really need to get your message out. And she said, I'm just so surprised that you haven't been using, I've done a lot of speaking, but it's to real audiences, not virtual. And I thought about it and I thought, you know, I've been fighting going online for so long, it's just ridiculous. So I thought about it and I just thought, okay, so I started doing business mentoring for a lot of businesses, coaching men and women through some fairly traumatic issues, redundancies, restructuring of companies, all sorts of things. And so I started doing a lot of work online, my courses online, speaking online, doing a lot of coaching online, and it's taken a lot. I had to seriously get my head straight, right? Get my head straight. It's okay to have some tears, have a little bit of a cry, have a bit of a tanty. It's not a problem. But then straighten your shoulders, put some makeup on, get dressed to the nines, and you show up. You show up like you've never showed up in your life before. And you face it and you come, you back yourself. So for me, I went and spoke to a lot of my clients. I did the things that are sales 101. You go back to basics, you talk to your clients, you engage with your coaching clients, you talk to businesses, you phone, you get on the phone. There are people out there right now that are in a world of pain, and you have the ability to change their lives. You have the ability to engage with them on a stage that has never been here before. You have their undivided attention and you can make it happen. And that is about being honest, authentic, true, and with the only thing in mind I had was about helping them to keep the doors open, keep their staff, and work strategically through their businesses in terms of cash flow, in terms of their product line, what's working, what isn't working, looking at their marketing platforms. Some of their marketing platforms are just horrendous, but not to worry, we're working through this slowly and surely. Understanding how they can get some funding, how they can work through this, engaging with their staff and engaging with their clients in a very real way, a way that they've never engaged before, which is getting their staff together and saying, hey guys, listen, we're in a world of trouble. We've lost some market share, we've lost clients. We can't get our product in the country, you know, this sort of thing. What are we going to do? And the amazing thing I have seen, Nakita, is that companies have come together and staff have said, all right, I'm going to work 3 days a week instead of 5. I'm going to not take any salary for 3 weeks while we just get it. And staff have jumped in. They have engaged in a way that they've never engaged. And some companies that were about to close their doors and go out of business, they have supported their managers, they supported the business owners, and they are up there, they are fighting through this. And I'm working with about 13 or 15 companies at the moment, strategically just looking at one thing at a time, very different businesses, on how they can show up, how they can engage and communicate with their staff, so from a board level to CEO to senior management and all the way down. The communication skills are rubbish, absolute rubbish. But we're coaching, we're doing this, we're going to get there, honestly. But because people have never had to, they should have, but they've never had to engage in this sort of environment. So we're working really hard. So for me, Sales 101, which is get on the phone, target my clients or target people that I want to work with, why I want to work with, what my offering is to them, so the value proposition, and just getting on the phone. Now, I know that people don't like cold calling. I know that they don't like getting on the phone. I know this. People have an inherent thing. But so if I can leave one tip with everybody, clarity around your clients, clarity around your value proposition, make a list of clients, go look at online, go and see where they are, what they're doing, where things are, both on a local, national, and international platform. Have a look at the competitors, have a look and see what the competitors are doing, and then get on the phone and phone them and make sure that you have a genuine value proposition where you have something to offer, because all they want to know is who are you, where you're from, what is it that you do, and what's in it for me to engage with you. Yes? And get that right, get absolute focused. And if cold calling is something that you really quite anxious about, take a deep breath, rehearse, stand in front of the mirror. It doesn't matter what you do, but get comfortable with what it is that you're saying, and then pick up the phone and phone your client. Have a conversation. Sales isn't about the hard sell. It's about having a communication from one individual to another individual who needs the services and the products and the value that you are going to bring to them, their company, and their clients.
Sis, Queen, that is so spot on. It starts, everything that I'm hearing you say starts with the mind. As we know, as believers in the body of Christ, you know, if you say you can, you can. If you say you can't, you can't. And all it took was someone else, let's just, based off what you just gave me, someone else that already knew your value. Of course you knew your value, but all she did was plant a seed. Oh, I love how the Lord plants a seed, right? Now it's up to us as to what we're going to do. The Lord will give us the seeds. He'll give us the shovel. He'll give us the soil. He'll give us the sun and the water. But the key is, Queen, you've got to put in the work. If you didn't just hear what she said, all of what she just said, if you want to put a bow on it, get clear, know your value proposition, and get to work. Because guess what? Even in the cold calling world or whatever it is you're doing, oh, I don't want to, but you like to eat, right? And I don't know about you, and I know you do, but I like to eat good. You know, I like to eat good, right? And so my thing is, look, you're not doing anything that's not integral We're not saying do anything that is
No.
not your character. On
No.
the contrary, we are completely opposite of that. It is with integrity, and we are standing on Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior. So therefore, it is with integrity. And quite frankly, we care about the people, but at the end of the day, we want him to say, job well done. So it leads with that, right? So if your heart is there, then everything else is going to be fine. But you've got to put in the work. I will definitely say during this pandemic, you found out who were the real grinders. Yeah, the real grinders, because sometimes even in, like you say, been in sales for many, many years, myself included. I used to do performance development coaching, and I traveled the country and international doing many of the things that you spoke of and spoke to teams, et cetera, getting their headspace right. But, you know, people can get on this high horse, meaning that they're used to things either being given to them, or somebody else running the reporting, or somebody else, oh, here you go, Nakita, here you go, Miss Davis, this boom, 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 and you get into this place, well, wait a minute, they can't get me that, so how do you get your reporting? How do you pull it up? How do you find your clients? If somebody else, if your assistant or whoever, or your, can't do it for you, then what do you do? And unfortunately, some people don't know what to do if other people don't give it to them. Not saying they don't do the other portion of their job or their career or their business, but you got to get in the weeds is what we call it. Get in the weeds, go back, like you said, to the basics. Whenever things get whack, really, you can put this to anything in your life. I don't care if it's in your marriage, I don't care if it's with your children, your friendships, your job, your career. Go back to the basics. Go back, peel the onion back and say, let me go back to the basics. Back when it was simple, how did I move forward? And you'll say, I put one foot in front of the other. Well, it's the same thing, even during a world pandemic. You got to put one foot in front of the other, one day at a time. Begin to think inside, outside of the box. I'll say this, and then I want you to, you've got a slide you want to show them, and I want you to be able to do that. I was watching a cartoon with my daughter. This was many, many years ago. I want to say maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I think the name of the show is called Teen Titans or something. Who knows? Just silly little, I don't even know what they do, but they're funny. And I remember I was doing something in the household, and I heard the cartoon character say something. It was so prolific, and I don't know if it belongs to somebody else as a quote, but I just heard it from a cartoon character, and I loved it. And he said, when we master our, he said, when we embrace our, I want to make sure I say it right. Let me get it right. Let me get it right in my head. He said, when we embrace our limitations, we master our capabilities. And I just love that, like so much so that I took that and I put anonymous to it, and I began to put it as my signage at work, because that is so the truth. When we embrace our limitations, see, everybody wants to run from it or use it as an excuse. Oh, it's the pandemic, so I lost all my, okay, if you, Queen, Queen, mighty woman of God, boss lady, all over, international, top percenter for sales and all of that. If when the pandemic hit and you left it to where, okay, all my clients left, now what? And just stay right there. Where would you be? Where would you be if you said, oh, well, because of the pandemic, now I don't have any clients, now I don't have any customers. And you just say, well, I'm just going to wait till the pandemic passes. And then it was a month later, 3 months later, 6 months later, 9 months later, going into 2021, baby. And I'm going to tell you that we may know how to deal with it a little bit better, but it's still here. So, I mean, God forbid, you might be homeless. I mean, I'm just being honest, myself included, right? So you've got to be able to embrace those limitations, because those are the very things that if you dig deep, right, you put your heels into it, you lean into it, you're going to burst out with some of the best fruit ever, especially with Christ as your foundation, because he tells us when we are weak, he's strong. He's strong in our weakness. So I love that, Queen. So you have been amazing. Please tell them, pull up your slide for us, and then I want you to tell them what you've got going on next, so they can patronize you and just be in the mix with you, because you're awesome.
Okay.
And it's coming right up. This has been amazing. And don't you worry, Queens, you're going to get her information so you can follow her and, support her, as well as get the help you need.
Can you see it?
Absolutely.
All right. So, Queens, I want you to understand that God said that he is with us in the fire. We won't get burned. Isaiah 53. That when it gets overwhelming, when things are really coming against us, he's with us all the way. One of the things that I need to let you know today, just like you said, Nakita, is that God gives us all this stuff. We have to put on our boots, we have to put on our big girls' pants, and we have to go out with intent, and we have to make it matter. So for me, queens, don't worry about anybody taking your crowns. They're a gift from God. They're custom made. Your crown isn't going to fit anyone else. So put it on and make sure that you stand in the strength and everything that God gave you, and allow him to just work through the situation. He can do it, but he wants us to take the shovel and to dig in the dirt and to sort things out with all the tools and the skills that he gave us. Yeah? Right?
Beautiful.
So, it's been absolutely fantastic. Here are my contact details. Love to catch up with you. Nakita, it's been an absolute blessing having a chat with you. I really just appreciate it. For all you queens out there, I know that you're going hard. I know you're doing it hard. I know that we are in unprecedented times. I personally don't think this is going to be over quickly, but if I can help or support, encourage, motivate, or inspire any of you amazing queens out there, please, I'm offering that you get hold of me. Let's have a chat. Let's see how I can help you. Let's see how we can get through whatever blockage you may have or whatever challenges you may be facing. Let's sit down together. Let's put a strategy and let's get you through this. And let's just see God's blessing and favor and grace and mercy just flow all over you, your families, and your business. Because he's in control. And man alive, does he love you, Queen.
Yes, he does. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, I love it. And don't worry, Queen, if for any reason you didn't catch all of her amazing nuggets in regards to how you can reach her, don't worry. You're going to have the link also sent to you so you can reach out. Make sure you follow her. Make sure you support her. I know she will follow you back. She's an amazing support system. We've been in connection now for a little bit, and she's awesome. And that's why she's here. I want you to know we didn't just get you any old body that said they wanted to participate and be in this, right? Like I said, it's very important that the women who are a part of anything that I am facilitating, that they are a woman of God, that they are seeking his face, right? In spirit and truth, his kingdom, his righteousness, because my word says all of these things will be given unto me and you. That means you too, Queen. So that's important. And then they've also got to be able to kick hiney and take names. I'm just going to be honest with you, because Christians, we are not anybody's punk. We are strong in the army of the Lord, and we are strong in business too. We are building a legacy. He's got our kingdom and everything for us and in heaven for us, and we're going to get our riches and our gold there. But I believe the daddy, the father that we serve, wants us to live a blessed and abundant life while we're here on this side of heaven. And a part of being able to do that is if you follow the clues, because success does leave clues if you are attuned to them, if you're willing to pick them up. Two things I pray for every day. Now, I don't always get it right. I'm not perfect. I fall short just like anybody else, minister or not. I fall short just like anyone else. And by the grace of God, I'm saved. But I pray for wisdom. I pray for discernment. Because it's important for me not just to have the knowledge, which is great. There's lots of people with knowledge, but what are you doing with that knowledge? And this is a perfect example. Jean and all that she's doing, all the lives thousands, if not millions, potentially, the lives that she's being able to impact, right? Through her inspiration, through her motivation, through her business, through the different affiliations and associations and the young ladies and young gents that get to hear the words coming out of her mouth and get to see her be a woman of action and integrity. So it is an honor to have you today. I thank you so much. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up for this this episode of Success Leaves Clues that you would like to say to our audience? And they are global, all over the world.
Well, Nakita, just a couple of things. Anybody needs some sales training, anybody needs some leadership training, coaching, I have programs I'm running all the way through November, December into next year, online. My vision, my purpose, my goal is to just support the woman in whatever it is that they are doing to inspire them. And I'm so privileged, Nakita, to be a part of this today. So, ladies, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the opportunity. Go hard, go well, with integrity, with value, with honor, with wisdom. Play the game that God has put you here for. You are here for a time like this because God has put you here for this time to interact with His people or the people that you're in front of. So go hard, go well, enjoy, find your value, back yourself, stay strong, and really, if you're having a rough day, I promise you, phone me, email me, call me, Zoom me, I don't care. If you want somebody to talk to or need to, please, I am here.
Beautiful. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Queens. You have watched this latest edition of Success Leaves Clues. Again, I am your host, Minister Nakita Davis, CEO and founder of Jesus Coffee and Prayer Christian Publishing House, the #1 Christian publishing house in the land. And I thank you for taking this time today. Links will be provided so you can reach out and connect and just glow up with this beautiful queen today. Thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow on the next episode of Success Leaves Clues. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.